Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to another training section here. This promises to be very exciting because today we'll be going through advanced form configuration in Microsoft Dynamics and we'll be using JavaScript to make some of the functionalities happen. It's going to be a very sweet ride and we'll be seeing some cool functionalities on our forms. So basically the form interface you have and how um, fields can change. You could set different stuffs on the form based on the functionalities you want to be performed from your JavaScript end. So I'm sure this is going to be an exciting session. So just stay tuned and we'll hit the ball on. So as I said earlier on, so today we will be starting with the advanced form configuration. We'll be using the JavaScript. So just a quick run through on what we'll be covering. So for this, as usual, my sessions always goes with business requirement. This is to help give you a context of what you face in a real life dynamics implementation standpoint. So you could see the broader picture and how everything merges together from the business analyst end down to you, the developer, and what you're required to do. So up from that, we'll be checking why not business rules. So we'll be going through this. Okay, there are business rules already that could help you set forms, set fields in your forms, and do some of those functionalities. But why, in this case, why are we going with JavaScript, and what does it help us to mitigate? Then from there, we'll configure our subjects and configure our breakdown fields based on the business requirements that we have here. Then we'll also write our JavaScript, so which where the script creation comes on. And voila, we're going to check our demo. So that's basically what we'll be going through in this our section. Stay tuned, it's going to be quite exciting. So let's hit on our business requirement and see what the client actually wants from us. So in this case now, right, the business has different dispositions, which they call groups, right? So you might, in an organization, you might have different support agents attending to different cases, but those cases are categorized into different groups. So in a very large organizations where you have these cuts across and they have breakdowns even in those dispositions so as to be able to route them appropriately, you will need to categorize them for analysis and just basically to be able to route the case to the right agent. And also when the organization is doing a broad analysis on how cases are flowing, they could use those subjects. And when a disposition is created, they want a specific subject line to be captured based on the disposition that was given. So I'll just give a run through on a sample um, matrix that I created. So let's just go through that. So this the breakdown. So we have the group, which is the first level that categorize the agents in groups. Then we have the breakdown on tasks they could pick from this group. So in your scenario, you can have this breakdown splitted to different uh, assignees. So you can have different groups treating different breakdown. But in this case, we just use one so as not to make the system very complex. But implementations gets that complex. So but for this case, I'll just make it very simple, something minimal, even though it will still have some complexity in it. So the groups we're having is just bug reports, product improvement requests, then new product feature requests. So it's just maybe like a IT institution, maybe into development of applications, and need to track most of their requests coming out from their end users. So some of the breakdowns you have for bug reports, you'll be having performance bugs, security bugs, unit level bugs, functional bugs down to logic bugs. Then for product improvements, you have things like mandatory product performance, exciter, indifferent reverse. Then for new products feature requests, we'll be having bug physics, feature updates and enhancements, then brand new feature requirements. Then we have things like support level and support level 1, support level 2. So check out my video on SLA, KPI, and advanced SLA configuration. That's where you see all this in action. But I'm not going to do that on this video. So watch out for the video on SLA and SLA configuration. So you get a full view of how when the cases are assigned, how these SLAs move and the escalations and all that. So this is a video building up to that one. So this is basically what we have. Then this is a group and this is the breakdown. So that's basically the business scenario. So this is what the business wants. When a service request is created with group classified as bugs, so there should be a breakdown that the agents classifying the case should be able to select from. So that's basically the run through. Now here's back to our slide. Then the question will be, why are we not going with business rules? Because okay, the business wants a scenario whereby if someone selects bug reports, a field should appear and the field should contain an option set, and that option set should have um, from performance bugs down to logic bugs, which someone could select from. And based on any of this selection should reflect on the subject. So the subject field should carry out any of this. So the reason why business rules not work is when you want to build this out, you will need to use your conditional branches. And for business rules, we are limited to 10. So imagine a scenario where you need to check, first of all, that this group was selected before checking which breakdown was selected before setting the subject. So you'll be having one times all this. So you have three times all this. So that's already way more than 10, and you have limitations of just 10 um, conditional branches to create with when you're going with the business rules. So that's basically why in this kind of scenario it will be best for you to switch over to your use of JavaScript to perform those operations from the back end. Then so proceeding also on our slide, we'll be configuring the subject just as we saw from this. We'll configure subjects to pick up the group and breakdown that the business is looking out for. Then also create our group fields. So just as we have the group field and we input their values, create the group breakdown also and input their values. Then to the big guy in the box, we're going to create the functions that will help us to populate those fields and make them appear when specific um, groups are selected. Then after we've done that, we'll proceed to apply that script on our form, then we'll demo. So sit tight and let's have a run through on this. So straight ahead, we'll be starting from our subject configuration. So I'll proceed to Dynamics environment where every of this will be happening. So I'll just go to my environment. So as usual, we've headed to our customer service admin center. This is where we're going to be doing the configuration for the subject. So straight up, we'll go to case settings. So when you get to case settings, you see the subject second on panel. So click on manage. Then voila. So our subjects. We can just clear whatever is there out of the box. Just clear this, delete, confirm. So okay. So now we'll head over to what the business gave us. So from the business, we have headers of bug reports, product improvement, and new product feature request. So I'll just drag this to my other screen and we'll start the creation from here. So I'll click on new, on add, sorry. So when I click on add for this, what we are looking for is the bug reports. Let me just copy this from here, put bug reports just this way, and I click on save and close. So you can see bug reports here. So the next one to add is products improvements request, save and close. So you see that here. Then the last is we have our new product feature. So I click on add new product feature and save and close. So we have the three main subjects here. Then the next is for us to add the breakdown. So you can see it has picked the parents as the for that subject we want to create now. So the first one here we have is subject performance box. So I'll just hit save and close. So you see that there will be an arrow, drop down arrow showing it. So you can see now we have performance bug. So do the same. Come here, add, then go down to security box. So place this here. Click on save. So basically, that's how we proceed to add all the other ones there. So I'll just pause the video at this point so as to reduce the length of the overall video and fill out the other ones. Then we'll be back in a bit. So let me just pause the video and do that on the back end. Okay, so we're done with creating our subjects in Dynamics. So just to review what we did. So this is the product improvement request. So we have the brand, new feature, bug fixes, feature updates and enhancement. When you come over to the new product feature request, you see exciter, indifferent, mandatory, performance, reverse. And when you come to the bug report, you also have all what was given by the customer. So just have all this done. So that's just a quick run through on how you create subjects in your system. And you could have as much hierarchy as you want in the subject tree. Just to see this in work, so let me just go and perform a sample case request creation, and we could see what we have. So let me go down to customer service hub. Okay, so we are on our customer service hub page. Just want to quickly look at the um, subjects we just created in the system. So let's go to cases and hit on new case. So I just click on new case. Then when you go to the subject icon, you just click in it. Yeah, so you see the drop downs of the subject we just clicked. So if you drop down on any, you see any of this one. So you can see how lengthy this might become and taxing for agents trying to navigate to pick their subject. So that's basically one of the things we'll be addressing for them with JavaScript, in which we'll give them drop downs to just only pick this, and the next video populate. Okay, that's for our subject. So the next, we need to create a field um, that will hold option set for our groups. So we want a field that will hold bug reports, products improvements, and new product features, so that agents could just select it instead of going to the subject field to navigate and look for that. So to do that, first of all, a good practice would be for us to create our solution so that everything we're doing is in our solution. So let me go down here. So just navigate to make.powerapps.com so that we could go create a new solution. Yeah, so our Power Apps landing page is here. So what you just do is go to solution, click on solution, then click on new solution. And first of all, you ensure that your environment, you're on the right environment you want to work in with. For me, I'm on Royal Tech. That's the environment I'm currently working in. So switch to environment correctly. Then click on new solution. So I'll just call this customer service management, just something basic. So the publisher, I'll publish it with my Royal Tech publisher. Okay, let me use the default publisher so I can leave everything as the same. Then click on create. I want something much. So when this is done, we're going to need some tables. So one of them is the instance, which is case. So we're going to add it from the default solution, which is an existing solution. We're also going to need the subject, which we just created uh, in this our solution. So what I will just do is to click on add existing. So this still coming up. So as I said, you click on add existing. So you go to tables. So the table we're looking at for is case. So click on this. Next, I want to include everything. So I'll click on add. So when that's added, you can see it now, and the number of tables will increase to 1. So also we're going to add subjects. So just go to subject entity, click on subject just like this, click on this, click on next, include all objects, and click on add. Fantastic. So we have our subject here and the case entity. So what we want to do is we want to create two fields. But before we need to create those fields, we need to create option sets for this. We need to create option sets that will hold this. So we need to create a group option set. So just navigate back to environments and the solution you're working with. Then click on new. So what we're looking for is choices. So I'll just call this group uh, case group. Oh, let me just make it group. Uh, call this group. Then the first one will be bug reports. So just place this here. So add new choice, and the next will be this. Just paste this here. Add new choice. Come here, and the next will be this. Come over here and place this. So when you're done, just click on save. So good. So the option set you just created the choice. You can see it here. So if you go to your choices under your solution, you see this group here. So the next one I want to create is the choice, the option set, the choices that will hold for reports, bug reports choices, product improvement choices, and then new product feature choices. So I'll just drag this over to this screen so that I could quickly do all that. So I just click on new and call this choices. And the first one is bug reports. So just paste this as bug reports. Then what I want for the first one is, and the next is security bugs. Then the next is units. Then the next is functional. Then the next is usability bugs. Then the next is syntax error. Then the next is compatibility errors. And the next choice is logic bugs. So when you're done, you click on save. And once this is done saving, we'll see it appear here just like the way we had for the group. So I'll proceed to do that for product improvement requests and new products uh, with the video post so that we don't have a lengthy recording. So okay, so we are done creating all our options. Um, so right away, now that we're done creating our options, we need to then create our field in a case form that will pick up these options. So the first one we need to create is the group. So just navigate to your tables, go down to case, and go to columns. So columns are the fields. So let's wait for this to come up. Okay, good. So you click on a new column icon here. So add column. So I'll call this group. Excuse me, group. Then what I want is choice. So when I click on choice, I'll leave this. I'll make this required. So we want to classify the case. So if it's not selected, you can't save the form. Um, recommended. Then now go select one of the choice we created. So navigate down to group, uh, group, this group. So you can see it's bug reports, um, products, and the other one we had. So the default, we don't want anyone to be default, so it should be blank from the start. Then when you're done with this, you just click on advance, okay. Leave everything as default and click on save. Yeah, so we've created our group field. So the two other fields we want to create is the one for bug reports, product improvements, and new product features. So I'll just click on this. I'll call this bug reports field, bug reports. So I'll just come here and say bug reports breakdown, breakdown. So that we know it's a breakdown of the bug reports we're looking for. Then go to choices, click on choices, leave everything as default, come down to sync choice with, and we want bug reports. So this, so you can see the list of options when you hover around. So click on this, leave everything as default, and click on save. So we're done saving that. So we'll do for the next, which is product improvement request. So I'll click on new, and I'll come to my Excel sheets, make a copy from here, and just give it the same name. This and call it breakdown, breakdown. Then what we're looking for, the data type is choice, and the choice is one of the choice we created previously. So I just click on this. And what I'm looking for is product improvements, products improvement, this request. So click on this, leave everything as default and click on save. Oh, so the last is new products feature requests. So I click on new, just copy the same name here and paste it here. Call this breakdown, breakdown. Then go to your choices, click on choices, click on the choice. We're looking for new products, new products feature request. So click on this and click on save. So now we're done with all our fields that we need to capture on the form with respect to how we want to populate the subject. So now we go to the form itself. So the form we want to look out for will be the case. So let's use the case. Uh, okay, let's use the case for interactive form experience, which is the default form that comes up. Case for interactive experience, this one. So the main, so you click on it. So now we want to add first of all the group. So just come here, search for group. So you see group is out here. So wait for this to load. Okay, so once it's done loading, so we just pick the field you want to add and the targeted location. So where we want to drop it is case title. So I want to drop it just below subject, so you can see we're on the subject field. So just pick this, drag it, and take it below this. So when you drop it, you can see now we have our group here. So below group, that's where we want the other three group of the subjects breakdowns to come up. So I'll just look out for them. I'll call this breakdown, so it's just pick here. So I'll pick bug, pick it below group, Okay, new product, take it below here. Then take period improvement, take it below here. So when we save and publish, so our stuff is now saved and published. So we just go back to our form, then go back on this. Then click on new so we could see what we did. Yes. So now we have our group, we have our bug reports breakdown, new product feature request breakdown, and product improvement request breakdown. So when I click on this, I will see bug reports, product improvement, new product. Then when I click on this, I'll see the list of bug reports breakdown. When I click on this, I'll see for the new feature, and when I click on this, I'll see for product improvement. But the business requirement is all this should be hidden based on what was selected here. So if I select bug reports, only bug reports breakdown should come up. And when I select any of these, let's say unit level bugs, what should be populated here should be unit level bugs. And that's where JavaScript comes in to help us to do those hidings and populating for subjects. So straight away also, we're going to lock this field so that no agent can change whatever it's here. All that will be changes made to here will be decided based on what was selected in groups, and from what was selected in groups, what was selected in your breakdown will be what was selected here. So that's basically it for what we have in customizing our form. Now we'll now proceed to the big task in the room, which is to write our script to do the action we just painted. So to do that, I'll head over to VS Code. I'm going to write my script. So our function will be of two kinds, right? So we'll be having a function that will help us to hide the other dispositions, which is the um, bug report and the other one. So based on whichever was selected, then we should have a return. So let me just type this here. So first of all, I want a function. But I need to save this as JavaScript. So I'll just call this tests test scripts. I'll just save this. Good. So what we have, so we could just call these let's say group. So I'm call this group hide underscore show. So yeah, something like this is fine. So I can call this group hide underscore show. So I want to pass the executioner at the point of when this function is called. So I'll just call in execution. So I'm getting execution context is yep. So now create a function. Now, so this is a function that we're going to be calling on Digispike end to help perform the operation we're looking out for. So straight up, first of all, we are going to uh, get our value that will be coming in from the form itself. So the form get the form context. So what I'll do is just call this variable. I'll call this form. Yeah, just give it a form context. Right, equal to execution, execution context. Yep, this dots get. So this is Microsoft get from context. This. So this will just get us the context of the form we're currently working on. So next is to get the variable that holds the value that was returned from our group. So do this var and call this group. Let's call it group value, right? So what we want from here is form context dot get attributes, right? And the attribute name we're looking for is, so you go back to your form and there's a group. So what we're looking for is this. So logical name is this new group. So I just click on this copy, then get back to your scripts and paste this in quotes here. So what I want to get from here is the value. So I just do get value. So this will get the value that was entered for new group. So so let's make this for operation. Let's just put some comments on this. So this will get value selected for group for the group field, right? So we have this, and when we are done, um, yes, excuse me. So when we're done picking the value from the group, so what we want to check first of all is we want to check if this is actually empty without any value. It should ensure that all the other fields are hidden. So what we'll do is we'll open up an if statement block, and in our if block, what we'll be checking is group value. So check if group value is null, excuse me, or if group value is undefined. So if any of this happens, right? So what I want to do is I want to hide all the dispositions we have, all the three dispositions we have under the groups. So you get your form context dot get control. So now I want to get the control that will action on excuse me, that will action on that entity. So we'll go back to our fields. So pick bug, click here. So when the logical value, copy this, come back here and click on this. So what do you want to do? We want to set its visibility. Set visible, and what we want to do is change it to false. Sorry, false. So it's this set visible to false means you want this field to be hidden. So we'll also do the same for the next three. So dot get control. So what I want is, what's the next one in picture, please? So click on this over here. So I want the logical value here. It's not, You could just edit column. Click on edit column. Then if you scroll down to advanced option, you see a logical value there. This is the logical value we want. So just highlight this, copy the logical name. Then when you go back to this, just open and close this, drop. The one we want to do is set value, excuse me, set visible to false also, right? Then do the same form context dot get control, and what we want is the last one, which is products improvements. Edit this. Then you scroll down to this and copy what you have here for the logic name. Go back to your script, put this in, and you set visible to false. So what this is saying is, if um, your group value is null or it's undefined, let all these fields be out of the form. So it should not be visible. That's why the visible is false. Then next is, we'll then start checking if this value is equal to uh, bug report, or the value is equal to product feature, or is equal to product improvement. Then we should set this as visible. So I'll just copy all this, just say else. Let's see. Sorry. Else. So I could just paste it. Sorry, I'm going to edit this. So I want to clear all this from here. Yes, I want to clear all this from here. The value we're looking for is just one, so I don't have this again. So what we want is else if. So the first one to check for is to check for um, so just put the comment here. Check if bug report is selected. So that will be what this will be doing for us. So to be able to check that, you need to pick the option value for bug reports. So you go back to your form, right? Then when you go back to uh, just click on back here. So go to your options, your choice, sorry. So the choice we want to look out, we're looking out for is group. So what do we have for the value for bug report? This is the value for bug report. So you just copy all of this way. Then you go back to your script and paste this here in quotes. So just open a quote, close this quotes, and paste this in here. So it will check if if the value is this, because that's what represents bug report. So the backend doesn't know what you've done. It's the value that's used to attach the label. So when it sees this value returned for group, then it knows that you're making reference to bug reports. So I'll just go back here. So when we pick this, we want bug reports to be true. So just make this true, while the others will be left blank. So we want to check for the next also. So I'll just come and do this here. So check if so the next one is, let me call this products request. So we just come here to check if product report is selected. So what I want is this. So if you go back to your field, so just by one, so change the last zero to one and to be for. So I'm just trying to do this so that we're quite fast and not have a lengthy video. So you do this one. So what you want here is this will be false and this will be true. Then we'll do for the last else if product improvement. So this is 2. Let me just copy this name from here so that our comment tells us where we are. Yeah, just check if new product feature request is selected. So if this is selected, we want this to be false and we want this to be true. So that's basically it for how we'll be setting the values and making them visible from our function end. So I'll save this, as you can see. So we have this saved already. Then what I'll do is load this to our form so that we could see that invisible. So we'll be doing the loading simultaneously as we're creating our function. So I've done this. So what we just do is go back to your form here. Yeah, just click on yes, exit panel. So come here, click on advanced settings. So once the advanced settings page opens up, so just come to settings, click on the drop down, then go to solutions so that we could navigate to the solutions we're currently working on. Make the Power Apps come. So the solution we're working on is customer. So just search for all customer. Yeah, so we want to work on customer service management. This with default publisher for Real Tech Hub. So you just click on this. So double click on this, it opens up. So what you do is the script you just created, you need to append it as a web resource for you to be able to use it in your environment. So I'll click on this web resource. So I'll click on new. So what I want to do is I'll call this uh, subject show. Okay, subject setting. Uh, subject sets script. Yes, let's have it this way. So we use the same display name for it. Then this script and its functions will be used to set the subjects on a case. So the type is JavaScript, language English. So then I'll choose a file. So I'll navigate to the script I just created. So go to documents, put that my works, then I have a link for projects. So this was one I just created. So just click on this. So I picked that. So I click on save. Okay, sorry, our name here. Just use underscore to make the name in. So click on save. Okay, so underscore is not allowed. So just remove this also. So oh, there's a space. Yeah, that's why. So scripts. Yep, save this. Good. So yeah, so we have our script saved. So when you click on this text editor, you see a script that we just loaded to come up. So this is the script we just created. Group, hide, show, and all the fun stuff that we want this specific script to be doing for us. So that's basically how the script is. So when you're done, you can just click on OK. So what we now want to do is, after we're done with this, we could publish, so that the script we've done can be published. Just click on publish. So it's publishing the customer. Yeah, so we're done publishing it. So we can just close this. So what we do next is we'll then navigate to our case entity, right? Go to our forms. So now I want to bring up this script in our form. So click on forms. Yeah, so the form we're looking for is this one, case for interactive experience. So then I click on this, so click on this. Okay, so we have our form opened up now. So straight up, what we want to configure is the form property. So we go to form properties, and we have a list of out of the box functionalities that have already been written. So what we'll do first of all is you need to add a form library. So add this, and it picks up from your web resource. Okay, so the record we're looking for is test, and test as the name gave it. So let's search and see. So it seems the name was not test, so I just cleaned that up. Then let's look for it manually. What did we call it? So I can call it. This is web resource we just created. This one here. Let's go back and see the web resource we created so that we can confirm the name again. Can you see that here? Okay, subject scripts. Subject scripts. So form properties. Let's close this and refresh again. Let's confirm this was actually published. Let's see. Okay, so to confirm the display name is subject set script, and core name is new subject set script. So let's just go back to our form and then look for that. So we've got to create. So just drag this here. So go to form property. So click on add under form libraries. Click on add. So let's look for the new underscore subject, something like this. Let's see. We have any. Yes, we'll have this now. So just click on add. So we'll have this for us. So when you're done, then you now do the event handler. So what events are we looking at for? The first one will be on load. So when the form loads, so what do we want to do? So click on add here. So when it loads, the function I want it to call is the function we just created, which is height show. So I'll just copy this down here, paste that I want height show, and I want to pass execution context as first parameter, just as we did in our script. So I click on this and I'll click on OK. Then the next is when, what other event that I want to call this? So whenever there's a change on group, it should call that function again. So whenever there's a change, I want it to call this function from this script. So just paste this, hide the show pass execution parameter, click save. So those are basically the two states in which I want um, the scripts to be called. So I need to change this also because the script you're looking for is this. So click on save, click on OK, then save this. So when you're done saving, you publish it. So just click on publish. So it's publish customization. Okay, so beautiful. We've published our customization. So let's see our functionality in real time. So just go back to here. Let's go to cases. Just click on cases. Discard this. So let's have a new case. Create a new case. When you click on new, so as you can see, the other dispositions have disappeared. So that's where our JavaScript came into play here. So when I select any of these, so if I select bug reports, you see bug reports breakdown comes up. So for us to be able to select one of it. However, if I change this, so you see that new products feature comes up instead of the bug because we've changed this here. If we do the same here, you see this. And for each of them that you change, their specific breakdown comes up for them. So for this one, the breakdown still comes up. So for this one also, you see the breakdown. So instead of agents coming here to look out for and go down looking for what they're doing, so when you just select the breakdown, the group here, the breakdown specific for that group comes up for them and they could make selection. So the last requirement for the business case is whatever is selected here, they want it to be populated for the subject here. And this subject should be locked, just like the case number here is locked, so that agents don't edit here. So they just make changes on here and it reflects what they make here to this point. So to do that, we'll be using lookup, and that lookup is lookup to subjects, just as we see here. And to write a function for that, it's quite different from what we had previously. So what we need to do first of all is we need to pull up all these values on our sheet, on the script. So after pulling them on the script, then you check whenever any of them is selected from here, then it should be picked up on subject. So we'll have a quick view on that now. So just head straight to our JavaScript. Okay, so go back to our form, just as we had before. So for this time now, I want to create a new function. So one function, and we could call this set subject, set underscore subject, right? Then as as before, we'll do the executions, context, and pull up. We're going to now write our function to take care of the setting of the subject. So the first thing we need to do is, just as we did previously, create a variable to hold our form context. And this time we're looking for the execution context dot get context dot get form context. So we're passing, when we pass that, so it's basically what we had before. And the next thing is we need to get the value from our group. So value variable. So we can call this group so that it will be distinct group disposition. So what I want from here is form context dot get attributes. So the attributes we're looking out for is the group. So just what we have here, new group. So I just click on this and paste it here. New group dot get value dot get value. So I want to get a value and open the function. So we are getting the form context as the whole attributes are everything that's coming out from the form. Then secondly, we're getting the value from our group because we use that to check. So if this value is returned from this group, so which subject should we be looking out for from the subject hierarchy? So that's that. So also we now need to you need to set set arrays. So we need to set arrays for each of the subject three values. So you need to have an array because since this is a lookup, you need to have an array that will hold the values for those lookups you're looking for, then call them whenever you need them. So to do that, first of all, for each array, what you'll be having will be a variable name. So I'll call this, let's call this, what's our list? So the first one is performance bug. So I could just call this performance bug, right? So I'll just paste this here as performance bug. Remove the space. Then this will be, excuse me, new array. Yeah, so this is actually a function call. So close this. So when we have this, then the next is passing in the array entries for uh, performance box. So we have performance box. So this array will have be a new object. New object. So close this. So the next thing is the values of this performance box. So the first value we'll be passing in is the name is okay. Let's start with the ID. So the ID, this is a unique identifier for this specific subject area that we are looking to build its own information. So to get that value, you go back to your makethepower.com. So go back here, go here. So scroll down to your subject, click on subject. So when subject comes out, you see all entries below here. So just let allow that load. Yeah, so you see them this you see all the entries that you created displayed here, but these are not the columns we want to look out for. So you can add your columns you're looking out for here. I can remove all other things. So just remove these all. So what I want is I want the subject itself. I want the title name. I think this should be okay for us. When I click on save, yeah, so you see this is actually the ID you need to pass for you to identify that this is the lookup value it's looking for. So when you go to additional, so it will list out all what you have sitting on the system. So what we're looking out for is the first one is so just go back to your script. So we're looking out for performance box. So when I go back here, I'll look out for performance box, this one. So when I click on this, just click on Ctrl C, copies it for me, come here, then you put that in the quotes and curly braces, just like this. Beautiful. So this is what we have now for the ID. Then the next is you need to give it a name, performance bulk array, so dot name. And what I want to call it is, let me just call it the same thing that we have here. This performance box. So I'll just place this here, performance box. So that's what we call for the name. Then the entity we're looking out for, so performance box dot sorry. Provide position dot. So we're looking for the entity type. Good. So the entity type we're looking at here is subject. So that's where we picked this for. So it's subject, then close this. So basically this is how we build the array for each of the subject three. So I'll do the same also for all the whole subject breakdown that we want to use in setting the subject. And as you remember, what we need are all the values that are captured in here. So all these values here, and all these values here, and all these values here. So it's going to be quite a number. So I'll just quickly do that, then I'll resume back the video. But basically, this is how we build for each subject. So I'll do that and bring it back so that we will not have a lengthy video. Okay, so now we're done with imputing all the values we have for our subjects as a block of arrays for each of those values pointing to their ID. Then when we're done with this, so the next step will be for us to check each of the groups that was selected. So if a specific group is selected, then in there we want to pick the value of that group, the value that was selected for that group breakdown. So the first thing we need to do is we need to check. So I'll say if what one block statement is group this equal to. So what I want to look out for is the first one. I think that should be especially just what we have here, 1000 for bug reports. So just put this for bug reports. So it's 10,000 for bug reports. So I want to check if bug reports. So this condition is to check if bug reports was selected. So this will help for us to check um, which sub field we're to look at. Check if bug report was selected. So I'll just open and close my this. So if bug report was selected, so the field I know I'm looking out for is I should pick the value for bug reports. So this will be to form context. This will be form context. So what I want to look at is to get attributes, and the attribute I want to get is that for what's the form name again? Yeah, bug is this one. So scroll down to this, paste it here, and I want to get its value. Get value. So now we've gotten the value from the specific um, from the bug reports breakdown. Then next, what we have to pick now is to check which of the values were selected here. So I'll say if bug reports is equal to. So now we'll go to each of the values now and check. So I'll go back to solutions. Let's go back here. Then go to choice. So we're on bug report. So you go to bug report. So the first is bug, and it's this value. So just click on this. So I'll say if bug report is equals to this, right? So what do I want it to do? So open, close this. So if the value for bug reports that was selected is actually what's the first one? The first one is performance bug, right? So if it's performance bug, what we want to so if it's performance bug, what we want to do is we want to set the subject to performance bug, and to do that we do form context dot get attributes. So this time the attributes we are getting is for the subject. So to confirm what your subject logical name is, you can go back here. Then I could close this. Yeah. Go to your tables, go to cases, go to forms. Then you can click on the interactive like this. So when you get to your form, what we're looking for is the subject. So we want to get logical name for subject. So you could hover around here, get the logical name. This logical name is subject ID. So just click on this. So when you click on that, proceed to our scripts and paste this in here in quote. So we have this. Then the attribute we want to do is to set the value. So set value, and the value we want to set it to is what we actually created, and that is performance bug, which is the first one we did here. So this value is what we want to set it to. This array that we're picking up, yes, performance bug, this one. So you just go down to code, come here and call performance bugs. So you have this and pull up. That's basically it. So it checks if bug report was selected. If bug report was selected, it picks the value that was selected for the bug report field and check if it's performance bug, then it sets the subject to performance bug. So you do the same also. So I'll do else if. So what I'm still checking is bug report equal to this value. In this case, it's going to be 1 at the end. So, and we are repeating the same thing for each of them. Close this and do this. So the value we're looking for next on our hierarchy is, so let's go back here and go back to our choices, the bug reports, and it's security box. So you go back to script, and what we need here is security box. Yes, security box. So do the same also for, I'll just copy this and I'll put 2. So what I'm looking out for is unit level box. So come here and do unit level box. Unit level box, the second one. Then I'll paste also again. This will be 3. And what I'm looking for is functional box. Come here, change this to functional box. Exactly. So I will go behind and just do this outside the video so that I don't have a lengthy video already. Yes, so I'm done for bug reports. So we've done with this first conditional statement. Then the next we need to do is for else if. So now we're going to the outer box to check the group dispositions again. So this for this will be else if group disposition, yeah, group diffs is equal to, now we're looking for 1, right? 1. So what we're checking for is check if So what's the next hierarchy for group? Go back to your function here. So let me drag this here. So if I go to group, the next for group is product improvements. So just go back to this and check if this is selected. So I'll do for this, and I'll have function. Then I'll also be checking for the third one, which happens to be new product feature. So come here, paste this new product feature selected. So what we're now looking out for is, first of all, I need to check for the variables for what was selected for product improvement. So varchar, I'll call this prod improvements. Then what we need to do here is, just as we did for here, we'll get the attributes, but the field you're looking for is that of product improvement. So just if I copy this, put that here. So the fields we're looking out for, just as we had previously, so it's faster. We're looking for this breakdown. So looking for new product breakdown. Yeah, let's close this. Then if what the value we get here, we want to also check if prod improvements is equals to, so you then proceed now to check the values for prod improvements here, this one, and we have just 5 of them. So we have 1,000, sorry, we have 100,000, that's for mandatory. 100,000. So what should it do? It should form context dot get attribute dot, sorry, the attribute you're looking for is subject. We're going to just copy this one. Okay. Dot set value, and the value we want to set is mandatory. This one. Then we'll close this. So just as we had before, so else if prod improvement is equals to 1,001, 100,000. I don't know why I'm going 1,000 for this. So I could just change this and call this form context dot get attributes, and I want to set the subject just as I had before. But this time the value we're setting to is, so just over here we're setting it to performance. So let me just drag this over to the screen so I have it easy to view. So I'm looking for performance. So I'll just proceed to finish up the ones left and also do for new products, then resume back the video. Okay, so now we're done with all the other two. So as I stated earlier, for new products, so we're looking at the new products free breakdown, getting its value and checking which of them was selected and setting it with the lookup for that specific value created. So that's basically what we have for our subjects that we've set based on the values that we create. So I'm going to also drop this script on the comments of the channel so that anyone that wants to have it handy also could do that. So as usual, we'll save this. So once we're done saving, then we proceed now to apply it to our web resource. So you just go back to the web resource. So go this. So I can go back here and use this to our solution. Rather than one. Okay, yeah. So I can close this. Yeah, so let's use this. So I'll go to my web resource. And so in our web resource now, we'll go to this which we created previously. Then this will choose the file again so that it will overwrite what was there previously. So test script, save this. You can save. Yes, so when we're done saving, we just click on this to confirm that what we imputed is already visible in our script here. So this is what we have. So we have our set subject function, then all the parameters we're calling, and the build up for the lookups, values we're looking for, then down to checking. Okay, so we don't have our function here. So let's go back here and ensure that we've saved. Save this again. Okay, so since we saved, let's go back and pick it again. Uh, Cancel this. Choose file. So pick this again. Open. And click on save. So let's give it some time to pick it up. Okay, so we're done saving. So let's check our editor. So now we scroll down. Yep. So we have everything now visible. So I click on OK here and close this. Oh, no, let's publish. So I'll have it sitting on our form. Yeah, so we are done publishing. So I could just minimize this and go back to our environment and go to the entity we're looking at for. This is the solution we're working on. So I'll go to forms. So the form we are looking at for is the case for interactive experience. So we'll have our form open just as we did previously. So we'll go to form properties. We already have a form sitting here. So for the event we want to capture, we want to capture that event on form unload. Where we want to capture that event is whenever there's a change on the group. So we want to also reflect those changes. So we're picking from the bug reports, new field, and this. So I'll click on this. So whenever this field changes, I want to call that function. So the function name is set subject. So let's just go back here and pick the function name. Function name is set subject. Let's copy this. So whenever that field changes, I want to set subject and pass execution parameter. So I also do the same for new products. Add this, pick this, set subject, pass parameter. Then I'll do that for the last product improvement. Whenever product improvement changes, I want to read from this script and this function pass execution parameter. Click on this, save. So once we are done saving, we need to publish. So we're publishing. Okay, so now that we are done saving our scripts that we've edited, so we just proceed now to test what we've done. So remember, the hierarchy is for us to see the breakdown in subject whenever subject the breakdown value is selected. So just go to cases. So I'll go to new. So this is a sample case. So let's just quickly do a test. So we still have this open, but we need to log this. But let's just see how functionality is working. So when I click on this and I click on bug report, if I click on any of the drop down here, it's supposed to reflect on the subject. So let me click on usability. Good and fine. So now we've met our requirements that this will be shown here. So if I change this also, yeah, it changes. If I change this, okay, we're having issues. Yeah. So basically, when we make any of our changes, we'll have that down. So let me click on this and see Exciter. It's not calling. Okay, we need to review our script and see what's happening. So basically, so when you have your report this way, so this is functionality the institution looking for. So the last will be for us to lock this. So let's quickly lock this. So to lock that, just go to you can also go to make the files to come in again. So go to your form, case form, just come here, go into forms, case for interactive. So we have our form open and we want to lock the subject field. So you just click on that field you want to lock. Then you click on the display options, then scroll down to read only. So read only means the person won't be able to edit it. So when we're done with that, then we click on save and publish. Okay, so our form is saved. Then we now need to go back to our case and see the functionalities finally. So I could just go back here, discard this, down to our demo. So when you click on new, yes, so now as you can see, our subject is now locked, it's read only, so no one can edit this. So it will be waiting for the values entered here. So I'll just do this, I'll say test, demo case, right? Then we can edit this, we can edit this the group. So go down, select bug, and let's say the issue was functional box. When you click on functional box comes here. Then you can select your customer. So let me just look for a random name. Okay, so just use this name. And when you're done, just click on save. So that's just basically the walkthrough on how you could use JavaScript to make your form usage more powerful in regards to helping your support agent. So in our next video, I'm going to walking through SLA, so how SLAs will be configured just as we have for this business requirement. So if you just look up in for the video that covers SLA and KPI configuration. So we'll have that for you to see how this works out. So thank you very much for the time. I believe this was very insightful, and see you in our next session. Thank you.